Welcome to Inspired by JimmyL, a podcast that inspires freedom through authenticity. Take our shows and use them, honey. Use them to listen to your gut, your intuition, and allow them to give you the courage to be free in every area of your life. We believe that success and happiness is a personal thing. Now redefine it on your terms. This show was designed to give you practical tips from realistic people who have decided to no longer keep up with the Joneses. Now, your intuition is your roadmap, but this show is here to give you more courage to simply listen. And to add, we are not pleading for ratings and reviews, but please be sure to subscribe and share every single show if you are inspired. I'm your host, Warr Mize. Now let's get into the show.
Whew, okay, this clip with Andre Young has so many different tips in it, and I can't even grab them all. So I won't dare try to minimize them or dilute them in the beginning of this message. I'm just going to encourage you to just take your pen and paper out, and start writing notes. And this man he's practical, and I love that about him. He is freaking practical. These are all things that we can do ourselves, like right here, right now. So get your pen and paper out. If you need to hit pause for a second, go ahead and do so. Do it very quickly and come right back. I'll see you on the other side. The Leader 7. Now, I know that's the fourth book.
That is the fourth book. I call it I have four books out.
Mm-hmm.
However, the first two, I count because they're my babies, but I wouldn't count them to the world,
Okay.
So I had a print when we were only on college campuses and we were strictly voluntary. Hey, because I was a college athlete and I went to college and I almost partied my way out of there twice. I had a freaking ball, I had a great time. However, and I got my fair share of trouble too. I came from inner city Philly, and I was noted as aggressive when I got to college, but I was the good kid in my neighborhood.
Okay.
So
I'll take your word for it.
I wasn't always Mr. You evolving now, So I never wanted to stop working on a college campus because there were so many people who needed it. I needed it. I didn't need punishment. I needed guidance, so I wanted to do something there. So long story short, when somebody would come and we would do our forums there, they would get a t-shirt and a book. So that book wasn't officially published. It was printed. So I had two books. Then the officially published ones was called Evolve. And it's a compilation of quotes and questions. I always wanted to be able somebody to pick it up anywhere and walk away better. And then the questions in with, do you know your partner's answer? Do you know your kid's answer? Because we got to live outside of ourselves, not just us. The power of questions. The second one or the fourth one, depending on how we're counting, is 7 Ways to Love. The newest one coming out in the spring is 7 Ways to Lead. And the last portion of that book will be the Leader 7 as well. So it's coming out in the spring. I'm so excited about it because it's 4 leaders from how do you live your life personally and be a leader in and of your own life with the hard leadership skills daily to do so, whether it's at your company and in your personal life as well.
So you have the books, you have obviously the knowledge, or I should say the in-depth knowledge of what it means to be a leader and the difference between a leader and a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And your 19 plus years in the mental health industry. So all of this combined in your personal, RAM or your personal journey of all of this, what has probably been the most common thing that you have seen across all of this? Because obviously you've been from one end to the next, from being a speaker and motivating others and from the youth to working with adults. Like there has to be something that's a common thing between all of this. Am I wrong?
The common theme, there is a common theme because my content doesn't change, whether I'm working with high school, college, employees, executives, it doesn't matter. What I know is that people are people. The common theme is that people are people, regardless of their title. As different as we look, as much money as you make or don't make, people are all people, and they are all doing the best they can for who they currently are with what they currently know. And the common theme is that most people only have one singular linear definition of success. If I ask somebody, typically, and this is, oh God, why I do it in high schools and colleges, when I ask them, hey, what's your definition of success? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, whatever it is, they all tell me the job they think they want that they're currently studying for. That's it. They have no idea that once they get it, you might only stay in it for 5 years, and then you have changes, you have mergers, you have downsizes, you have lack of interest, you have family, all of this other stuff. It's so linear. And then when you ask adults, when I was a therapist, men typically, and this anytime you say every or all, you're wrong, okay? Typically, men would come in and say, well, I work all the time. I don't understand what the problem is. While in marriage counseling and their partner not there. Marriage hanging on by a thread, life is crazy, but work is good. I'm successful. And then women would come in contrastly, and not every or all, but women would come in and say, well, my life revolves around the kids. I don't understand what the problem is. Again, marriage hanging on by a thread, work might be good, all of that stuff, but you're a great mom. You know, all about to go through the destruction of divorce, unhappiness, unfulfillment, and you think that don't go into work? So either you're going to bury yourself in work and get better, quote unquote, better at work, because it's the only thing that's going good. It's the only thing you can count on until it's taken away.
Yeah.
You know, so what I learned is that people are people doing the best they can with who they currently are, with what they currently know, and the 4 Ps matter, because if we are doing great and leading our best lives as people, partners, parent, and professionals, I call those the 4 Ps, that will trickle on into work, and then that will trickle outside of work. And there's 5 points of the day. I tell everybody, if you could do these 5 points of your day and maximize that and be positive and intentional about what you do and what you consume when you first wake up, when you get to work, your midday, when you return from work, and before you go to bed. That's your 5. You dominate those 5. You're intentional about those 5. You're positive about those 5. Hard to fail.
Yeah.
Hard to have bad days. You can have hectic days. You got days you'd rather stay in bed.
Character building days.
You know, character building days. But, you know, so that's been the commonality, because my content hasn't had to change. There's some wording here or there that, that would change here or there. I just did a how to manage change, and I break down the acronym of change, the change that you want or think you want at work, and the change you don't want, because it's all going to happen.
Yeah.
So the company you were just mentioning, like going through changes and mergers and all of that, change going to happen. It's the only thing that's inevitable, but always seems to shock the heck out of me.
Which I do not understand for the life of me. I'm just like, you are not the same person that you were last year. You're definitely not the same person you were 10 years ago. Why the hell is this surprising? Like,
right.
Why?
Right. And I mean, you could change bosses, you change employees, you change this, you change that. How do we stay positive and growing throughout that? And then I kind of go through that for leaders and employees. You know, it's stressful and hard on everybody. At the minimum, it's going to be anxiety producing.
Yeah. I love your passion. Like, I mean, you can hear it, you can feel it. Like, I mean, I'm loving it. I freaking love it. Dang it, you made me forget my damn. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I almost forgot my question. So, but most of the tips that you're bringing up right now, they're practical. They're, at least it sounds so simple. I don't understand. I don't understand why people are not using them more often. I don't get that.
I think I could tell you that.
Please. Because I want to, like, I'm trying to steal this information from you. I want to go back and help some people.
Well, I tell you, one thing, I like to make what I do practical, and like the leader summit, I do like to make it easy, because if it's not easy, you're not going to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 reasons that people stay the same or don't do something. One is because we're creatures of habit. We're creatures of habit. Whatever you've been doing, and I just wrote about this, it's called the Leader's Pacification. It just came out on Friday. It's on my website and on the app. So if you bring an employee in, let's just go back to work for a second. You bring an employee in and you have somebody show them the ropes. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they're good and they're showing them the ropes the right way, but you don't know. They could be showing them shortcuts or how to get around. Remember, right? Right. However you start off showing them is what they're going to want to do forever, typically.
Okay.
They just didn't know that it was the wrong way, but it was the way they were taught. You start a relationship. You know, what's done in the beginning is expected in the middle and the end. You know, so we got to be very mindful about how we're bringing people in. So most people are willing to stay the same just because it's habit. It's what they've done. And it's easier doing what I've done than doing change. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
The other reason, number two, is that people, especially in our Western culture, we will let busy beat us. You know, they talk about bullying in school and all that stuff. They don't talk about it with adults. But busy will bully us more than anything else. We're so busy being busy, we forget to be better. We all know what we need to do, but I'll go to a fast food restaurant because I'm freaking busy.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know, but so it's the same thing with everything else. We're so busy being busy, and what we struggle to do is really put our life and the things we need to do in our homes. We're already on these, and we just talked about technology. Okay? My business is all in my phone. Is my wife? Are my sons? Is my daughter? Is the gym? I have goals. I have a vision for my life and my lifestyle. And my definition of success is not linear. Okay, I have my business definition. I have my husband definition. I have my dad definition. So being able to live that, but I need to put it in here. So whatever my vision is, I got a weekly goal board. These are my goals for the week. Going to the gym 3 times a week is on there. Because I'll let busy beat me. And then I don't like how I feel. You know, and then that comes out in how I act. And that's just how it is, you know. So I put that on there, and then that dictates my daily action. And I need to put this in here with alerts. Now I have to force myself to ignore it. I have to force myself to ignore it. Now, most will, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But even if you pay attention to it and do it 1 out of 10 times, is one more time than you've done it before.
Then dude, I don't know what is going on. Like, I'm loving it right now. Like, I have like simple alerts throughout my day, and they are completely at random. Whether it is for me to shut up and listen to what the universe is telling me, whether it's to shut up and listen to, stop listening to the negative self-talk, or like, there's just so many different alerts. And so I have sticky notes on my mirror in the bathroom, sticky notes in the car, like around the gifts, because I need the consistent reminder of whatever that thing is that I'm focusing on until I get past it. Like, I need that. Now I told you. I hope you did not miss anything. If you need to, go back and hit rewind on that. Like, I'm serious. Like, he left us a lot of different tips there. From people are all people, that they're gonna just be themselves, and people are gonna only be able to do what they already know to do. And we've heard that in different forms across different podcasts and across different interviews from different people. But when people know better, they do better. And I love that he mentioned that. I really, really do. And even how our phones are consuming us in so many different ways, forms, and fashion. But your spouse, your kids, they're not in that phone. And so sometimes you have to use your phone, put reminders in your phone to make sure you remember what is important to you. Now, they may not be your spouse. They may not be your kids, and that's okay. But remember to make sure you're taking out that time to put in your phone what's important outside your phone, whatever that may be to you. But anyway, I love it. At the end of the day, make sure that you're not doing anything to try to keep up with the Joneses. They are extremely broke, and I will continue to tell that to you until it is just written all over your dashboard in your car, or you have the alerts on your phone. Anyway, leaders, let's step up and lead. I love you guys as always, and I'll see you first thing in the morning on Instagram.